Hey. Give me some light. Give me some light real quick. Hold on. There you go. There you go, right here. Greetings, everyone. I hope that you're doing well and that you can hear me. Can I get a check, 1, 2 on that? If you can hear me, I certainly would appreciate it. We're going live to you today. And today we're going to talk about your obligation. Today we're going to talk about your obligation. I would like to know, does your obligation uh, extend beyond uh, your lodge, your grand lodge, and those who your grand lodge may have amity with? How far does your obligation extend? Does it only extend to your little circle, your affiliation? How far does your grand lodge extend? How far does your obligation extend? Today, we're going to talk about that. If you want to hit me up over on I'm going to switch over to TikTok too. I'm going to switch over there. But if you want to leave a comment, great. But today, we're talking about how far does your obligation extend? I don't know if you can hear me. Could you let me know if you hear me or not? Could you put some in the chat? I certainly would appreciate it. Greetings. Okay, I think that you can hear me. So today's topic is how far does your obligation extend? Is it only for those in your Grand Lodge? Is it only for those that your Grand Lodge recognize? Or is it for the whole Masonic universe? Is it for everyone? Is that obligation for everyone, or is it just for those in your little circle? Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I just needed to know. Today I'm at the house, man. I'm coming live today. It's a little quiet. I figured, I get on before the family come in. So look, I'm gonna be taking phone calls too. I'm certainly going to be doing that, and I would like this interaction. I would like this interaction because I'm quite sure there are many of us from various jurisdictions who know Masons from around the world, who have interacted with various Masons from around the world. Does your obligation extend to them? Your Grand Lodge has no amity with them. As a matter of fact, they may be considered clandestine to your Grand Lodge. But do that obligation extends to them? Have you found that person worthy and well? Have you tested to see if that person is who he claimed to be? Does that obligation extend to them also? Or do you just hold fast till this is my family, this is as far as I'm going to go, this is it? Does it extend to their widows and orphans? Or does it just extend to those that you know? I mean, this is a serious question. I'm looking for serious dialogue. If you're here and you're trolling, that's fine too. And one of my administrators is going to kick you off. However, but if you're here for a serious conversation on Freemasonry, and does that obligation that you take extend beyond where you're at today? So look, I'm going to hop on tweet real quick, and we're going to get down to this conversation. I think it's one that some of us have asked ourselves, but never one publicly discussed. And I'm publicly discussing them because, I've come across Masons from all over the place. And I'm only going to speak for myself. My obligation extends beyond my Grand Lodge and my lodge. It extends to those brothers who are found worthy and well qualified. It extends to those brothers who have tested. How that conversation you're supposed to have. You're supposed to try a brother, and it extends to those who are able to produce a membership card, because some of us are not as up on game as far as the Q&A is concerned. Some of us are not there. I don't care what you say, how you say it. Some of us ain't there. But when I feel that a brother is literally, legitimately who he claimed to be, who my obligation extends to him. Plain and simple. My obligation extends to him. Now, if you come in with some BS, I don't care if you do know the Q&A. I don't care if you do. You can call it the way you want to call it, but if your integrity, if you are not upholding or trying to uphold, or just if you ain't trying to do it, I'm not going to extend my obligation to you. I have every right to. But when I know a brother and it's in his heart and I can see where he's trying to go and be and how he's trying to improve his life, oh, I'm definitely all for it. I'm definitely all for it, and I'm going to support him. So that's a good one there, brother Marcus. You're right. Your obligation should be universal, but is it universal? Is that obligation universal? That's where I'm at today. Is the obligation universal, or is it something you just take because you want to be a member and it only applies to your Grand Lodge? It only applies to those in your circle, those Grand Lodges you have amity with, those Grand Lodges, whatever. Does it apply universal? Great question, Brother Marcus. I appreciate that. That's where I'm at. Too many times we get into these back and forths and everything else, and we really miss the essence of what we are supposed to be about as Masons and as Eastern Stars. This question also goes for the Eastern Stars. Does that obligation you take, sister, extends beyond your jurisdiction? Does it, or does it just apply to those who came through in your chapter or your grand chapter? Are you serious about the order, or are you just playing because your best friend is a part of the order, or your mother or your aunt or somebody? So are you serious about it? Because a lot of us, I'm finding, are not serious about it. That's what I'm coming across. So hold on as I try to get onto this tweet account. I'm going to go over here to tweet. If you have a Twitter account and you want to follow me over there, I'm on John G. Jones Research Lodge. I'm on the twit over there, and I'm gonna hit that up. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go live over here, and then I'm going to be taking live phone calls in just a few minutes here. We're gonna have this conversation, but we're going to be taking live phone calls today. And if you don't mind, let's see. I'm gonna put this number in the chat real quick, so you can call in. This number is only good for the day. So please call this number, 286-619-28. You can call in today to this number here. It's only good for today. And we can talk. I mean, we can legitimately talk about, does that obligation you take, does it extend beyond where you're at? And I would say for a lot of us it should, but for most of us it does not. It does not extend. It's like something that's I don't how would I describe it? If you're not part of my Grand Lodge, no, sort of thing. And I find that to be, that's not how Mason actually universally work. That's not how it goes. But I believe that a lot of us go that route. A lot of us go that route, and it's sad. It is sad. So today I'm going to put this. I'm getting ready to go over here live real quick. I need to pencil this in, so bear with me just a second here. So if you want to call in, you're certainly welcome to do so in just a few minutes here. Let's see. Does your obligation extends beyond your jurisdiction? Okay, that's the topic for today. Does your OB extend beyond? Wait a minute, gotta go back. Sorry about that. Pardon me for the pause real quick. Pause. I'm on pause real quick. So excuse me just a second while I complete this. I hope everybody's having a great day. Does your OB? I answer that, and I'm going to go live right here on the TikTok, and hopefully you can come on, follow me over there. Now I'm good to go now. What's up, JJ? How is your sponsor towards? I can't see the rest of that. How's your sponsors towards you? Sponsors okay as far as I know. Too much favoritism as well. So today, if you're on TikTok, today we're talking, does your obligation extend farther? Let me see, I can get some of this up. There you go. Does your obligation as a Mason extends farther than your own jurisdiction? And if you want to call in, and have this conversation, we certainly can. And if you want to pop up on TikTok, we certainly can. I'm on YouTube and TikTok today. So I'd like to know your thoughts. I want to hear what you got to say. I need you to call in and tell me what you think. How do I get my primitive rights in Virginia? You're going to reach out to a guy named Raymond Edwards. You can more than likely, you can find him on Facebook. His name is Raymond Edwards. He can definitely assist you with your primitive rights on the East Coast. He can definitely do that. Again, his name is Raymond Edwards. He's the Grand Master out of New Jersey. Great brother, friend of mine. Reach out to him out that way. He can definitely help you if you're looking to become part of the primitive rights. So today, once again, what we're talking about is, does your obligation extends far beyond where you're at? Does it? And I'm going to tell you, I have several different Masonic rituals. I have several. And all of the obligations literally read the same. There's a few twists in it now. Hear me clearly. There's a few twists, in it. But for the most part, for the meat, I'm talking about the meat of the obligation and what it represents. It's the same. I have a Prince Hall ritual. I just got a hold to a Grand Lodge of California ritual. Yeah, I got that one too. And I have the basic rituals. Let's look to the east. I have a Duncan's. I have several others. But all of those I got a Grand Lodge of England ritual. I do. I really do. But I'm just saying, in reading these obligations, be it inner apprentice, fellow craft, or master mason, these obligations are literally reading the same. Granted, there's a word added or a word taken from, but the meat of it is the same. You can't switch it up. It's no way in the world you can switch that up. And I know a lot of brothers, and I know some sisters may get, feel a little certain way about it, but it's what it is. So if you're on TikTok and you want to join us or call in, you're certainly welcome to do so. If you want to call me and have this conversation, that's cool. If you want to pop up on TikTok, you want to join us live, you're certainly welcome to do so. So today's conversation, for the fifth time, we're talking about, does your obligation as a Mason extend only to those in your Grand Lodge and those who your Grand Lodge have amity with? Or does it, as Brother Marcus says, is it universal? Is your obligation universal to those whom have met the test in the Masonries in their heart? They have been tried and never denied, and they're willing to be tried again. Is that where it's at? Or do you just say, man, we don't recognize you, so therefore I can't extend an obligation to you? Is that where you're at? Is that how you see your obligation? That's where it's at? Because if that's where it's at, then from what I've read from several Masonic rituals, you've totally missed what Masonry is all about. You've totally just disregarded, you've tossed it aside. You've done away with it. So greetings, everybody who's joining me on TikTok. Today, we're talking about if your obligation, or does your obligation extends farther than your Grand Lodge, your those who you have amity with, or is your obligation universal? What do you stand by? In knowing that. Please, again, you can give me a call if you want to. The number's in the chat. If you want to call in and have this conversation, you're certainly welcome to do so. I won't dismiss you. I won't curse you out. I won't do any of that. I will listen to what you have to say. We can agree to disagree, but there would be no shunning anyone. I know I was just on TikTok the other day, popped into a little Masonic conversation, and before you know it, they kicked me out. I didn't even say anything. I said greetings. After I said greetings, I was gone. I was boop out of there. So that's one of the differences. That is truly one of the differences I see amongst the ancient, free, and accepted Masons versus other Masonic jurisdictions that I deal with. Okay, I deal with modern free. I deal with international. Yeah, I deal with them. Okay, I've dealt with mainstream brothers. I've dealt with Prince Hall brothers, but I don't get. There's a different feel. There is a truly a different feel. If a brother is really sincere about who he is, you're gonna know. And it's not going to be about your jurisdiction when you have that conversation with him. The same thing goes for a sister. If a sister's sincere about who she is, that obligation is going to extend. It's going to be there. But what happens is, and what we've found is that too many times, a lot of us are shucking and driving. You know, we like, he. You know, you're not really putting what you say to test. You're not doing it. See, because I know when I said widows and orphans, it was widows and orphans. It didn't say widows and orphans only for those members of the Most Worshipful John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. It says widows and orphans. See, that's how I extend my obligation. That's how I see the obligation. You know, it didn't say until I found him or them as worthy and well qualified only in my Grand Lodge. It didn't say that. It had other stuff with it. It didn't even mention my Grand Lodge name. And I'm telling you this only because I have multiple rituals. I have a Grand Lodge of England ritual. I have also a California Grand Lodge ritual. I have also a Duncan's. I have also a Lester's. And plus my own Grand Lodge has its ritual. And so when I look at these different obligations, and I say different because there's a little word here or there, for the most part, these obligations are saying the same thing. So do you, who are watching on TikTok, do you extend that obligation farther than that? Because I know a lot of brothers don't. I know a lot of brothers and Masons who don't, they don't extend it, period. Plain and simple. And I think when you don't do that, I think you really missed a lot. I think you miss a lot. I really, really do. And I say that because what happens is when you go and you put in that position and you are taking that oath, that obligation, because there's two. There's an oath and an obligation, but most of you only get the obligation because you don't even pay attention to the oath that you're saying. You don't, it goes, shoo, you know, go back and read it. There's a couple of things that are popping off that are happening, but you don't pay much attention to. So I would like for you to go back and check what you're saying, because I had to do that for myself. And when I did that, I was like, holy smack, I said that. And it extends beyond my lodge. It extends beyond Hosea Lodge number 7. It extends beyond that. It expands beyond Aries Lodge number 4. True Kinsman number 1. It extends beyond Alexander number 9. It extends beyond Mystic Lodge 619. It extends beyond Trinidad Lodge, United as One. It extends beyond those Grand Lodges that works, that it extends beyond those lodges that may be chartered by this Grand Lodge. It extends beyond that. But does that follow you? Does that work for you, my sisters and brothers? Does it pour out like that? Or do you hold it so close to they can't even identify to let your light shine? That's a question for today. If you want to call in again, the number is 619-286-0642. You can call live if you want to today. I'm up, I'm energetic, I'm all for it, I'm in for it. You know, one brother said too much favoritism. You know, too much favoritism. Well, you know what? I can see that. But as a Mason, I must look beyond just the mere friendship. You know, I must look beyond that only because in judging, and I said judge, in judging that brother, I must look and see if he's worthy and well qualified as I am myself. Once I have done that, I seize the moment and say, how you doing, my brother? How you doing? Not, man, I can't talk to him. You don't even know him. That's why Masonry is universal. You don't even know him, but yet you want to say because he's International, Modern Free, National Grand Lodge of Prince Hall, or PHA. I ain't talking to him. You don't even know him. You don't know him well enough not to talk to him, but you will say that. You would say that. That is some crazy stuff. And then what I find is most people are afraid to have real conversation and dialogue in regards to the craft. They'll run away from it. Oh man, I can't do that. Nah, You can't do what? You can't have a real dialogue? No, I can't talk to you. Says who? You didn't try me. You didn't ask for a membership card. Well, my Grand Lodge don't recognize you. Does it say that actual word in your obligation? Does it say because you don't recognize John G. Jones, you can have the conversation? Does it say that? It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say it in a Prince Hall ritual. It doesn't say it in the Grand Lodge of England ritual. It doesn't say it in Duncan's. And it doesn't say it in Lesser Look to These. And I got another one called York Mason something. I can't think of the name of it. I have 6 different Masonic rituals. And it doesn't say that in any of them. Not at all. It doesn't mention Prince Hall. Now, Prince Hall has his own ritual, but it doesn't mention anybody else in that ritual. My Grand Lodge has its own ritual, but it doesn't mention anybody else in that ritual. So we get caught up in the BS in regards to what somebody else has said instead of reading for ourselves, identifying for ourselves, and calling things as they are. This is what we do all the time. So you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride and say, I'm a Mason. But you never really put the things of Masonry to test. How many of you have actually tested the things that you hear about and have those experienced true essence of Masonry? How many of you have actually experienced that? How many of you have actually gone to someone's house that you didn't know? You've never met them. You've only had a conversation on the phone with them. And because you met them and they said they was a Mason and you trusted who they say and claimed they were, you went to see them. How many of you actually did that? Talk back to me. Somebody talk back to me, because I've done that before. I've actually met people who said, look, if you are here in this city, come by to see me, brother. Oh, you're a Mason? Yeah, I'm a Mason. Here's where I'm going to be at. Vincent, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, let me tell you, and I tell anybody this story. Brother Vincent is one of those individuals. I never met him a day in my life, but when I needed some assistance, now we've had conversations back and forth, but when I needed some assistance, I was going somewhere, he said, look, man, call me up. I got you. I was like, for real? I called Brother Vincent up, hadn't met him a day in my life, and brother, he said, do this and do that. It was a wrap. See, to me, to hear that coming from a person I never met or seen in my life, his obligation is true. It's true. He's tested it. He's really put the square of the compass and the level on it. He leveled it off. He made sure it was plumb, and he made sure it was upright. So he tested it, and he found that it was true. So the cornerstone the cornerstone that was rejected is now the head cornerstone. You catch that on the way home. You catch that on the way home. So this is where we're at. So today, if you're on TikTok, and if you want to come up and have the conversation, request to come up. If you're on the YouTube live today and you want to call in, you can call in. Because I think that this conversation that we're having is an interesting conversation, but I know that quite a few of you won't call in because you're afraid to call in. And the reason you're afraid to call in, let's just be honest. The reason that most of you, not all, but most of you are afraid to have the conversation because you're going to be an outcast. The reason most of you will not have the conversation is because you're going to be considered an outcast. Why are you talking to him? Why are you watching him? See, I'm not like those TikTok brothers who come on and they're talking, well, my Grand Lodge, and I'm not that guy. I'm energetic. I want to have a personal conversation with you. I want to get your understanding and your point of view of Freemasonry, and I give you mine. Now, if they don't agree, that's cool too. But in some cases, they will agree. That's cool too. I'm not here to cut you down or do any of that. I'm just here to share information with you from the various books I've come across, my particular understanding, and maybe you can enlighten me. I'm open either way. But what I find is most of us are not open. Most of us are locked in. We're locked in. Most of us believe because you do volunteer work with your lodge, you good. You do volunteer work with your lodge. You do community service with your lodge. You good. You ain't good. That's me. I mean, I want to experience Masons. I want to experience Freemasonry from a variety of points of views, not just my own. And a lot of us are so locked in on our own personal thing until we don't enjoy, we don't see Masonry. You don't. And the reason you don't is because you're too locked in on, hey, man, this is where I'm at, man. This is how we get down. No. But how does Freemasonry universally get down? I'm talking about the universal brotherhood. I'm not talking about somebody else. I'm talking about the true essence of Freemasonry, for which most on the TikTok don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about that. I've come across brothers in mainstream who have extended the grip. Okay. I've come across brothers from Prince Hall who have extended the grip. Modern Free extended the grip. International extended the grip. I've done it. The National Grand Lodge of PHO has extended the grip. I will come across brothers like that. But a lot of brothers are afraid because they're following someone else. So they don't want to talk to you because they're following somebody else. And I find that to be kind of like crazy. How is it that you can be part of such an organization till you are afraid to venture out? Some of us reminds me of a small dog. you remind me of a small dog, right? You know how the small dog is in the gate and he's running up and down the fence barking. He just at it while the big dogs are walking outside the fence minding their own business. And as soon as the gate come open, you don't know what to do. That's how some of you act. You act like these, you rough and you tough, you all of this, and you all on TikTok, you all on Facebook, you all on the YouTube, you doing all of that. But when the gate comes open for you to travel, you terrified. Most of you are terrified. You will not leave the United States. You will not leave your Grand Lodge and go into a place else if asked to visit. You will not do it. Well, I'll be breaking my obligation. Will you really? I'm just asking. This is what gets me sometimes. How is that? I'm going to say this. How is it that now, although Ralph Slaughter, yeah, I brought him up, although he's no longer part of the Council of Grand Lodges, okay, of PHA, he's no longer part of that, according to them at this time, okay? He's no longer part of that according to them. How is it now that you're calling him clandestine? Make it make sense. He has one of the oldest Grand Lodges amongst the PHA family, but you want to call him clandestine. Make it make sense. I'm trying to understand where that logic comes from. How is it that a man such as him, who's been Grand Master for over 20-some years, who is led as your imperial potentate, who's done multiple things that you wouldn't imagine as far as galvanizing people and uniting, he's done that. But now, since he's not part of the Council of Grand Lodges, you're saying he's clandestine, he's bogus, he's this and he's that. You didn't say that 3 years ago. You didn't say that 5 years ago. You didn't say it 6 years ago. We Prince Hall family. And the same thing goes for some of you brothers who are in the ancient, free, and accepted Mason, the John G. Jones affiliation, the General Grand Masonic Congress. Same thing goes for some of you. I'm trying to figure you out. I'm trying to understand if this obligation is really true to you, or is it just something you just say? Or does it extend farther than just your front gate? Because when that gate is open and you can't come out of it because you're too damn scared, how is it? It says that it's in your heart, right? It says it in the heart. And then you was taken to a room adjacent to a lawful and constituted lodge of masonry, right? Now, in some jurisdictions, they may have what you call a chamber of reflections. Now, if you've ever sit in a chambers of reflection, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I will not go into details regarding it, but you know what the chambers of reflection is about. So when you enter this chambers of reflection, you come out of there. When you hear the knocks at the door and it says, who comes here? You know, and someone is in there with you, then you begin to feel what it is as that door becomes open. And you begin that journey into Freemason, from darkness to light. You'll catch that on the way home. So what we do is we take that, we subjugate that, and you don't even know what it is to be a Mason because you went along with someone else who was in this jurisdiction. Well, he's over there, I'm gonna go over there, you know. And I get it, I understand it, I'm not kicking it. I'm saying, do you know why you're a Mason? Have you tested Freemasonry? Have you traveled outside of your own jurisdiction and put those tenets to work? Have you done that? Have you gone to a place to where you knew no one, but because you represented or had the cap on your head or maybe a shirt on, somebody walked up to you and extended a grip to you? And it was no like what jurisdiction you was in. It was more like, oh, okay, how you doing, brother? And there are certain names that goes along with that, brother, too. Depends on where you at. There's a name that is given. I'm going to say this again. If you are a part of the craft, there's a certain name that is given to you. So when a person approaches you and he doesn't know your name, he uses that name instead. And that is a universal name known across the Masonic universe. And then he will know who you are. See, Masonry is supposed to bring brothers together. It's not supposed to do this. It's supposed to do this. It's supposed to bring unity. You're supposed to be a brotherhood. We can agree to disagree. I'm not going to fall out and want to fight you now. There are some I did want to fight. I ain't going to lie. I can't say that, but there was some I been wanting, like, come on, we're going to get this in. But when I look at that, I have to be able to take those instruments, those symbolism that we get, I have to be able to temper that down, be able to apply them to myself. A lot of us don't apply any of those working tools to our daily journey. None of them. A lot of us don't even invoke the blessings of deity in the morning or at night. A lot of us don't remember our brothers in our prayers. We don't whisper good counsel in their ear. We don't go breast to breast, knee to knee. We don't do none of that, foot to foot. We all out here. But why is that? Why are we so far-fetched on some bullshit and not on the real essence of Masonry? Not on the essence of being involved. A lot of us talk about it, but how many of us are actually involved? I mean, really involved with making changes beyond where you're at. Because a lot of us are so comfortable where we're at, we don't even know what it is to come out the gate. You will never travel. Your first you'll go to the next state over, or maybe to some place where you know everybody. I've gone places I knew nobody, but I was invited. And when I got there, it was true brotherhood. It was the truth essence of Freemason when I got there. It was like, yeah, you brother? Yeah, I'm Brother Tony. Come on, man. I got you. I'm picking you up from the airport. I'm going to take you to the conference. I got you. I had to trust that guy. I had to trust him. I never seen him before. My Grand Lodge doesn't have Amity with you. I only know you because I met you through the internet. Yeah, that's a lot of damn trust, right? There's a lot of trust. You know, trust me, I did some background things. You know, you have to check. I did that. And I did talk with the Grand Master, and he was like, yes, somebody said, okay, all right. And it happened. But how many of you have had that experience as a Mason? Can you do that for one thing? Can you travel outside of that box that you're in? Because a lot of you are in boxes. A lot of you so tight, you're so wrapped up that you can't even go outside your box. I won't leave the Prince Hall family. I won't go nowhere. I'm Prince Hall. I'm no, man. If it ain't the mainstream Masons we have recognition with, I can't do it. Man, Masonry is bigger than that. Man, I've been with brothers from Egypt who are Masons. Okay, we gripped up brothers from Italy. We ripped up brother from France. I'm telling you my experience and those who I've actually had the privilege of sitting with. not some fairy tale about thinking about did I actually. No, I did that down south of the border here in the United States. Brothers are really about that life. I mean, they're really about the brotherhood and essence of Freemasonry. They're, man, I'm just saying. But until you get outside that gate, until you venture out, until you say, I'm going to open the gate, walk outside this gate, and I'm going to do this, it ain't going to happen for you. It ain't going to happen for you. And this is the thing I find about Masonry that I really like. I like testing it. I like saying, is it true what they say about Masons? No matter where you go, you will always find a brother. Is it true? You know, I would suspect for those who are in the military that they would see, they will find that it was real. That would be real to them. You know, that's what I would suspect. Please hit the like button. I would suspect for those who are in the military, those who have gone outside the country, I would suspect that it is true for them because they have seen it from different points of views. They have viewed it. Once you're on that ship, they don't give a hoot about your Grand Lodge. Once you're on that ship and they know you're a Mason, that's who you are. That's a fact. Ain't no shunning nobody on no ship, especially if you're on an aircraft carrier and it's like 10,000 people on there. Man, look, I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you that when you're on a ship and you're out in the Pacific or wherever you may be at, and you know that the chief is a Mason, all right? The captain may even be a Mason. The cook is a Mason. When you want supplies, that guy who handles your supplies is a Mason. Man, I'm just telling you, there ain't nobody asking you your jurisdiction when you're on a ship like that. They gripping you up. Hey, brother, how you doing? Hey, sister, how you doing? Ain't nobody asking the Eastern Star what grand chapter you part of. When they find out that you're a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, it's a wrap. It's only here for those who don't know that you ask that BS. It's only for those who don't know it's like that. I got a brother. His name is George. And I talk about George every now and then. George is in Arizona. It's in his heart. You can Q&A George and he'd be like, man, but when you call George at 1 in the morning, when you call George at 12 in the noontime, when you call George at 7 in the morning, George picking up the phone. Yeah, brother, what do you need? What's going on? Oh, bro, I got a brother in Arizona that I need for you. Oh, yeah. Send me his information. I'm going to call him up. See, that's that thing right there. That's that thing. And when you haven't experienced that beyond where you're at, outside of your gate, you got to go get that. I'm telling you, you got to go get it. You got to go get that. When I drove to Atlanta a few years ago, I met a brother. I call him Morpheus. I'd never seen Morpheus in my life. But when I got to Atlanta, Brother Morpheus said, yeah, come on by my house. I'm quite sure I've said this before. And those are the things that you find and see in true Masonry. Not none of this BS stuff that you hear on TikTok. Everybody want to know if the Masons trying to take over the world. We too busy trying to maintain a household and jobs. We too busy trying to do that. Masons, we ain't trying to take over no world. Too many of us are worried about, can we pay these mortgages, my membership dues that do? Man, look, we got real problems. But if it's a true brotherhood, hear what I'm saying. If it is a true brotherhood, and I said that I would extend this obligation to the widows and orphans of a master Mason, I said that. It goes beyond those who are in my circle. It goes beyond those who are in my Grand Lodge. It goes beyond those who my Grand Lodge have amity with. My obligation, as Brother Mark has said here recently in the chat, my obligation is universal. My obligation as a Mason is universal. It's universal because I'm going to try and find out if that brother legitimately who he claimed to be. And once he pulls or produces a membership card, once he's answered some of the Q&A that we're going to go through, and he said, this is who I am, I'm brother such and such, here's my membership card, my membership is paid up, and we have really had a nice little dialogue, I'm going to extend that grip. I don't give a who, if he's from Timbuktu, he gets it. He gets the grip. And we going about and try to find him and assist him. I tell you, I was traveling through Texas in the early 90s. My car broke down. True story. My car broke down. I had the emblem on the back of my car. Another car pulled up behind me. This is night. I mean, we're talking about Sunset, Texas. I'm on what I was on. I was on the 20 headed to Mississippi. I'm on the 20 in Texas. I'm mid Texas. Man, dude pulled behind me, hopped out of a pickup truck. He said, "Boy, you all right?" Boy, I said, "I'm all right." He said, "Oh, okay, I see you." He called me by my name now. There's a name that's out there. He looked, he was like, "Okay, all right, are you okay?" I said, "No, my car has stopped on me and it's running hot." He said, "Well, you need to get off this road." I was like, "Well," he was like, "I tell you what, can your car go about a mile down the road? There's a shop about a mile down. We get some tools, we can get you back going." I drove my car. I thank God that it didn't run hot. We got a mile down the road. True, there was a store to your left-hand side. I went into that restaurant, that store. I asked for a few tools. They gave me the tools I needed. This brother stayed with me until my car got fixed and I was on the freeway. Some of you would never experience that because you're looking for the name of the Grand Lodge. You're looking for some other BS and not really understanding what the organization is all about. That's true brotherhood right there. Yeah, he was a white guy too. He had to be from the mainstream the mainstream Grand Lodge of Texas. My hat is off. Real talk. Real talk. But see, that is true. That is the true essence of masonry. Not none of this BS that you're going to hear on these TikTok shows talking about, yeah, man, the compass is this, the square is this, the letter G is deity. No, none of that, man. None of that. Because in some jurisdictions, there is no Bible on the altar. In some jurisdictions, there is no Bible on the altar. Okay? In some jurisdictions, you only got the compass and square on the altar. That just shows me that your existence in traveling only gives you that perspective. You only have that one way, that one mindset perspective, and I've invited many of Masons to come on. I'm going to say this again. I have invited many of Masons to come on and have conversations with me regarding this topic we were talking about. And they were like, "Nah, man, I can't do that." Why you can't do that? Why you can't talk freely about a society or organization that you're a part of? Is it a secret? No, it's not a secret, but you can't talk to me freely. You can't do it. Can't do it. Like I said, I think that was today is Sunday. So Thursday, I clicked on the TikTok channel. And I clicked on these brothers. They was talking about Freemasonry. Josh Falacio was on there. He was there. Josh was there. And as soon as I said greeting, they booted me off. I'm like, dude, y'all, are you that scared? Are you that scared to have a conversation with me? Are you that afraid? What's going on? Well, I can't talk to you. You ain't a real Mason. Okay. So you say. And that's your belief. And whatever you believe, however you want to believe it, you can keep it, you can have it. But I'm going to enjoy everything that Masonry has to offer. I can get it right here. I enjoy it right here. I don't have to go into Amity with you to enjoy the craft as it should be enjoyed, the universal travel as a Mason. I can do that. My Grand Lodge does not limit me from traveling and visiting other Masonic jurisdictions, even if we don't have Amity with them. They don't. Now, we have requirements if we enter into Amity, but individually, we enjoy the universality of Freemasonry freely. Something a lot of Grand Lodges don't allow their members to do. You can't go where I can go because you have to have Amity with that Grand Lodge to go. I don't. I'm true to it. I'm a true brother Mason. And that's the difference. See, your Grand Lodge has to have Amity with another Grand Lodge in order to go. See, all somebody has to do is really vouch for me. And I can go. I can visit. You can't do that. The reason you can't do it because your Grand Lodge doesn't have Amity with you. And if they don't, then you can't visit. I can. If a brother of a Grand Lodge we're not in amity with or have recognition with, if they come to me and say, Brother Hawkins, we want you to come visit. All right, I'm there, brother. I'm coming. All right, I pop up at the door. Who vouching for him? Oh, past master such and such. Oh, well, if he's vouching for you, come on in. That's how we do it. See, that's how we do it. I'm just telling you the difference. Okay, there is truly a difference. And now, if you want to pop up and say there isn't, that's how we get down. That's how we do it. Hello? All right. Who am I speaking with? Hold on, hold on just a second for me. Hold on, brother Everett. Hold on, hold on. There you go. Talk to me.
Yeah, back in I'm not currently active now. I got my York right, nice, raw arts, raw select.
Uh-huh.
A nice tune, but I left PHJ. Well, I left the lie. I know it's PHJ, but you know, what I'm saying, just too much, man. Just too many brothers infighting and victory, man. Back when I was in the Navy, on the ship I was on, we had international. We had PHO, PHA, Scottish Rite, Black Masons, and everybody got along. We met with each other, fellowship, and had a guy that came on. He was on a Marine Corps detachment, and he came in and just tried to divide and conquer. So he was trying to stop us from talking to the brothers who were Prince All Origin, International, Scottish Rite, Modern Free, and you know what I'm saying? And the brother came in and started a lot of confusion.
Whoa. Yeah, he was a ruffian. I mean, really?
Yeah, man. He came and started a lot of confusion on the ship, man. And in front too, you know, I was PA. You know, I'm still PHA to the heart. I was raised in the Minister of Virginia. And sometimes you go to the lodge meet, man. You know, man, these brothers just, I can't say all PA. I know PA, man. A lot of PA lodge, man, they just not forward progressive, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like getting them to vote on letting 18-year-olds like down in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? In Mississippi, PHA and Scottish Rite, Black Right here, you could be a Mason at 18, especially because the way that they see it is that you could serve your country at age 18, go to the military, they can make you a Mason. 18.
Right.
And in Virginia is still 21, I still think.
Wow.
I've been alive for a while, man. So you know, I've been slowly getting back into it. So that's why I let you that in the chat about getting my primitive right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah, man. I researched that about like 6-7 years ago. I got in contact with somebody out of New York, but there was things going on to get the chance to get it, man. But yeah, man, it's I met brothers Modern Free when I was in college at HU, and brothers Modern Free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They showed me love. I showed them love. I've been international Masons and Black Scottish Rites. So in the military, we show love. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up. And everybody goes to the same degree.
Right. So when I was talking about being on that ship amongst other brothers, what did you find? I understand that somebody came along and wanted to cause some division amongst the brothers. They wanted to be like the ruffians. But what did you see before that person came along? How did you view Masonry as those brothers on that same ship?
You know, man, to me, man, a Mason was a Mason. I mean, we all got to get raised on that dead level of a perpendicular square.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I view Masonry from, it's kind of like, I'm a big comic book nerd, so just kind of bear with me for a minute. And I'm a Star Wars fan. The Star Wars, some people are into the Star Wars video game. Some people are into the Star Wars comics. Some people go into the Star Wars story. In Freemasonry, I'm more of a researcher. Then you got some brothers that love the degree work. So, anytime we brothers would hang out on the flight deck and chop it up, there was always a brother who came with a different perspective. You know, so it doesn't matter where he came from. Some brother were into the degree work. Some brother were into the research. You know what I mean? The architecture. You know what I'm saying? So some brothers just do the literature and the philosophy. So it was something that everybody brought something to the table to discuss about Freemasonry. beautiful thing.
Right. And that's what I try to tell brothers, that if you really want to experience masonry, as I've said already, I'm quite sure you've heard it, you got to come out the gate.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna be in that gate, you're not gonna really get the essence, because I'm quite sure those of us who have come out of the gate, we have experienced masonry different than those who are locked in. You being a former military guy, I'm quite sure when you've gone places, your experience is gonna be like, well, man, let me tell you, them brothers over there, once you extend that grip, it's a whole nother thing to them.
Oh man, I was in England, Masons in England, white, black, Asian, love France, Spain, Masons, love. I mean, it was, Italy. I mean, it's just, and it was cool because I learned something new. I thought everybody was PHA. And my cousin,
come on, bro.
I'm from Mississippi. My cousin was South Carolina, but he was PHO. And PHO claims that same charter up in
right.
PHO claims, you know what I'm saying? So it was a split between, so PHO claims that same charter. They got right to that same charter.
Right.
I met brothers from Florida.
Hold on a second. Hold on. See, I'm just gonna say now. I'm gonna say this because some of the people that you're talking on TikTok, and I got you on the YouTube. So some people are gonna find it pretty pissed off that you saying that PHO has the same rights to that 409 as any Prince Hall family does. I'm just saying. So you might want to tamper. Well, you said you're not even active anymore, so you're free to say what you want to say.
Well, I think that. My cousin who's PHO, he said that. He told that to me.
Oh yeah, okay,
so I
okay.
don't know what he told me. You know what I'm saying? What he told me, but but I don't. I think what it is, it stems from the Grand Lodge in England. Grand Lodge in England is very strict, so everybody gets their charter from England. I found out from some of these other Black Masonic organizations. I think Black Scott is right. Their charters come from Scott. Then I spot another group, Masons, the International Model Prayer. I'm not correct. I think their charter comes from France. Grand Lodge of France. So they're Masons. They just fall on a different jurisdiction, different dispensation.
Right. Okay. Got you.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I think Prince Hall gets his charter from the Grand Lodge of England. I've done research in England. England is very very strict. I know right now one of the dudes I crossed like when I was in college. He said some of the Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of England will be visiting California soon. And he'll be visiting the White Mason and the Prince Hall.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't mean offend anybody on TikTok.
Man, look, don't even worry about that, man. I just threw that out there as a side note. You good, bro. I'm quite sure. Well, I mean, it is what it is. You've explained yourself, man. Look, keep it rolling. You got the floor. Go ahead. I'm listening. I met Masons in Egypt, man. That's what really got me really studying Freemasonry. I really know after a little time out. Hey, that's okay. On the York right side, I'm correct. It's because I'm Knights Templar. It's 18 degrees. So from Master to York right is 18. So I know. I listened to a guy named Billy Carson. He's a philosopher. He talks about on the language of God is numbers. So okay. Well, it's 18 degrees. Knights Templar. Another 1 plus 8 is 9, and mathematics. There's no 10. The completion of the number is 9. That's okay. Well, 33, 3 plus 3 is 6. That means you're missing a 3. I start doing some more research. Well, it's got to be something above the 33rd because on this side of it, it's complete. Because 8 to 1 plus 9. Okay, so I started doing research and I thought, this is not concept. Okay. So I just typed in degrees above the 33rd and I started this ancient primitive rights.
Popped up.
Right.
Popped up. And I said, time out, what's this? So you go from 34, go from 33rd to 99. Time out. Okay, well, no one told me about that. So I started researching that, and I started doing the mathematics on, okay, well, 9 plus 9 is 18. You break that down in algebra form, which goes to 1 plus 8 is 9. Then, okay, all right, so then it's complete.
But see, the way you're breaking that down, a lot of brothers don't go that intense and that deep on Freemasonry. They just don't. They just say, look, I got initiated, passed, and raised. Me and the brothers gonna go out, we're gonna kick the night. They don't get that intense into Freemasonry. Very few of us get that intense in Masonry. Very few of us can extend that obligation universal because we've been there, we've done that, we have experienced that. But for those who haven't, they're not going to be able to track what you just said, bro.
Okay.
You know, I hear you.
I'm sorry if I got too deep. I'm sorry if I got a little bit too deep right there.
No, it's fine. No. It's fine for me. But I'm watching the TikTok thing. They're like, have him to repeat some of the stuff he's saying. I'm like, you know what? He's on a roll. I'm not going to have you to repeat stuff. You're on a roll, bro. You're going. And my hat is off to you for being able to bring that different perspective from your travels as a Prince Hall Mason and say you're right when you're on that ship. There is no international, modern, free, PHO. We're Masons on the ship. That's what you've seen. Now, like you said, there was a brother that came along and wanted to kind of ruffle some feathers, but I'm quite sure you guys kind of checked him and said, look, man, we on this boat, man. We ain't got time. We ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I'm a, I take a break a while because, like I said, there's a book I found at the library here in Virginia, Norfolk, called the Lost Architecture of Freemasonry. And the book is very deep because it goes into the architecture.
Right.
You see the Ionic pillars, the Doric pillars. It goes in severely. So, I was going to Turkey, and some of these old historic monuments, they got gated off in the fence because they're trying to preserve it. And, I'm like, okay, I saw that in the book. That's a Corinthian pillar right there. So I saw that in the book. And I started going in, and I started looking at the different pillars and the structure. So, because I'm also a Buddhist, so I was at.
Ooh, wait a minute. Time out, brother. You a Buddhist, and you in PH. You said you a former. Man, how did that? How I'm interested because I know how Prince Hall is in church a lot of time. A lot of their members are in church a lot of time. I'm just gonna be honest. So how did that come? I mean, how do you merge that? I mean, I'm interested. How do you merge that?
Well, I studied a lot of stuff, man. Like, I studied with Muslims, you know what I'm saying? And I had a Quran, had a Holy Quran here, and I studied that, and I see a lot of scriptures that I would see in Freemasonry. Like there's a scripture in the Quran, a ayat that says, Allah says you to be like brothers and to hold each other, to hold each other tight. Tight like a rope. So that's like a cable toll right there. So
that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I was, and I studied that. Then I'm a Buddhist, and it's just a natural progression because, and one thing in Masonry they teach you is to, if you go study your, I don't know if you got a black book, whatever, but it talks about looking within.
So I have a question for you. Do you ever get into the brother was asking here late. He said, get deep. One brother said, get deep, get deep. So so in your experience, do you ever get into any chants?
To be honest, I'm probably the worst chanter because I'm more, when it comes to studying something, I'm more into the philosophical side of it.
Okay.
Like good example. I'm a member of SGI, the Nietzsche Buddhism, and out of all the magazines I read from SGI, Nietzsche Buddhism, one thing that stuck out there was the parable. All right, and if you listen to the parable, basically refers to something Mason. All right, so there was a parable about an ox, and this ox was walking up a valley, way was a mountain. And the mountain was shimmering with gold. The mountain had gold within it, gold and silver within it.
Mm-hmm.
And the ox, again, the mountain was in his way.
Uh-huh.
So the ox had to find a way through the mountain. So the ox started rubbing against the mountain to try to wear the mountain down.
Right.
To create a hole.
Okay.
But as the ox kept rubbing against it, as the mountain got shinier, the ox got shinier. And so I read that, I'm like, well, hell, man, that really just sounds like I'm a rough to a smooth ass.
Real talk. Rough
to a smooth ass. And really, the more the story is, you know what I'm saying, the mountain is the obstacle, and the obstacle is there to make you a better man or a better person.
All right.
Or if you like the masonry, we all rough asses, we all come become smooth ass.
I'm going to send a brother of mine just popped up on the TikTok, and yes, I called him a brother of mine. Let's see, 2 Ave, 2nd Ave. You can find him, man. This brother's a Kappa. He's a Mason. I believe he's a Prince Hall Mason at that. This brother really spits a lot of conscious things that would really make you think in regards to your walk in life. And I always go to his channel and pick up some things. And 2nd Ave, big shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you stopping in today. I like your content, and I just want to send you that shout out, brother. Continue the journey. Go ahead, bro. I'm with you. I didn't leave you. I just had to get that out real quick before I forget about it.
I know you're fine, man. Yeah, man. So that's how I saw that. And plus, I was sitting in one of the rooms. We were getting ready to chant, and we got this thing called a boostan. The boostan is where you chant, because inside the boostan is it's a script, the scroll that it hangs on, and they teach us that the thing you're looking at is a mirror, a reflection of yourself.
Right.
But on the boostan in one of the rooms, there's a keystone on there. I was sitting there like, that's the keystone right there on the boostan. I'm like, oh, well, okay, bird. And so I took a picture of it and sent it to one of the brothers out in California. Oh man, that's a keystone on that. I said, yeah, man. So the leader of SCI Buddhism, Sensei Ikeda, just passed away, but he was a philosopher. And so anything that I do, I take from a philosophical
a philosophical. Go ahead. I'm listening.
A philosophical perspective.
And I want to add to that. Because a lot of times brothers who are Masons don't quite understand that. They don't. And once again, I find that they miss a lot of Freemasonry when they don't indulge themselves really into the arts, the sciences, and understanding Freemasonry. You mentioned a brother named earlier, and Carson. What's his name?
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson. Some of the stuff he says, I'm like, okay, I can understand it. I can track you. Some of the other stuff he said, bro, I can't track you on that one. I got to go and look and see for myself. Now, he's done some other things in his life journey, but this journey that he's on now, as far as enlightenment and bringing some things to attention, is great. I mean, he really makes you think in regards to the Society of Freemasonry, because when I saw him talk, he was like, yeah, 33rd, you're dead. I was like, bro, that ain't what you just said. Ain't clicking in a lot of these Supreme Councils who have these 33rds. It ain't popping like that, but that's his perspective based upon information he may have and I don't have. So I'm not going to just outright say that he's wrong. I just don't have that information. That's me. That's how I treat people. If you got something and you spin it to me and I'm not tracking it, because I don't have the information you have. But once I get that information and I can look at it and make a rational decision, I can agree to disagree with it until I have a better understanding of it. Most of us get information and we just, no, I don't, fuck that. You don't even read it. I ain't even touching that. Nah.
Well, see, the key thing is, when I was in Nephew, we went to the pyramids in Egypt, and I got a chance to see it. And don't take this the wrong way. I was impressed, but I wasn't impressed.
Okay.
All right, because I knew there was more. Okay. Mm-hmm. you go, it basically starts out, you got to start from the foundation. That means you got to put your hand in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do earth first before you start building megalithic structures. So I started doing some research, and I found out about the pyramids over here in the Americas. Back in the dollar, it's a pyramid, but see, it's not a pyramid, it's a mound.
It's not capped.
It's a pyramid mound.
Uh-huh.
All right. And all your mound buildings over here in the Americas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you go to, there's one of the largest pyramid mounds structures is in Illinois called Cahokia. It's a step pyramid. It's a flat top. You got to drop back in the dollar bill. It's not pointed. It's flat.
Okay.
All right. It's flat. So if you go to the Cahokia mound, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a pyramid mound there. It's in, you know what I'm saying? It's in Illinois. You can type in, Google it. Called Cahokia. You know what I'm saying? Cahokia pyramid mound. Right, you go to Mississippi, you got Emerald Mound in Mississippi. All
really?
Right? You got Emerald pyramid mounds there.
So are you from Mississippi? You mentioned Mississippi quite a few times. Is that where you at? Is that where you from?
No, that's where I'm from. Yeah, that's where I'm from.
What part is it? What part is it? Yazoo, Macomb, Vicksburg?
I'm from Waynesboro. I'm down in southeast Mississippi. I'm down by the coast.
Okay, Gulfport. You down by that way?
Yeah.
Okay, I know where that's at.
Yeah. So if you go and look at the pyramids of Mexico, there's step pyramids with a flat top on them.
Uh-huh.
And that dollar bill, that's a step pyramid with a flat top on.
Okay.
So then plus over here, a lot of the and one thing I've researched is a guy named Tim Hogan, and he was breaking down about the Knights Templar, and he was saying that the Knights Templar, a lot of them escaped and came over here. And the first Grand Master of the Knights Templar, and if I get a chance, I'll see the video, was a Moor, a brother. It was an African dude.
Really?
He was the first Grand Master, yes. I'll see the video. Tim Hogan is his name on YouTube. He's a Knights Templar. Now there's Knights Templar on the Masonry, and there's a separate Knights Templar. He was doing a lecture.
Uh-huh.
And the first Grand Master of the Knights Templar was a Moor, a dark-skinned brother.
You know what? Can I get you one day next week to come back on and actually talk about that? Because this is my first time hearing that.
Yeah, I got to find the video. It's on YouTube. I should have saved it, but I do have it in my thing, and I'll send it to you. Mm-hmm. You can watch it. He does like an hour and a half. So while he's doing a lecture, he shows the picture. And the Knights Templar, they escaped and came over here.
Right.
Now, so you got to remember now, Knights Templar wasn't all white folks. There was some black Europeans mixed in that too.
Mm.
They came over here because the first capital of the United States, I think I got a picture of that on my phone. It was a step pyramid, but they put a dome on top. So that's why Freemasonry is such the foundation of this country, because they learned a lot from the indigenous brown-skinned people over here.
Wow. Okay.
Like So it's like you got old Masonic emblems that you find on these pyramids in Mexico, the pyramid mounds. Matter of fact, one of the oldest land effigies is called Serpent Mound. It's in the Peoples, Ohio.
Okay.
On the size of 2 football fields.
Wow.
Because you start with earthworks first. Like the Bible says that God said to build earthen altars. Well, your earthen altars are your pyramid mound, because you got to start with earth first.
Okay.
You got to start with that first. You got to do earthwork first before you move the step pyramid, ziggurat. Then you get to that final one over there that's in Northeast Africa.
Yeah, I had a brother who just texted me that video you was talking about. He just hit me up on text. That's Brother Lewis.
Tim Hogan.
Yeah.
The first Grand Master of the Knights Templar was a brother.
Yeah, he just hit me with that. I'm gonna have to go and check that out and talk about that. But here's the funny thing, is that when we began to learn these different avenues and different things in regards to the craft, why is it so hard for some of us to believe that we was part of the craft at its inception?
Because the brothers still have that inferiority blade complex. Because yes, Prince Hall got the charter, but there's a lot of things in you had Moorish Christians. You know, that they got expelled too. You had Hebrew Moors. Moor just meant dark skin at that time period. Like today, they call you a Negro. Negro is either Negro in the Spanish. You know, the Negro means black. Back then, they call you Moor. They call you black man.
Right, right.
So you had Christian Moors. They got expelled, and I think one of the most Masonic philosophers in Europe was a Turkish black man. A black man who was a Turk.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's the most foremost Masonic philosopher. He kind of helped organize Freemasonry in Europe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He was a scholar just like you were. A scholar, so, he understands. Like, I watched some of your videos when you start breaking down the Greek word. Like, yeah, I'm like, this brother's going in. But he was that type of dude.
Well,
at that time that created that.
Well, tell me this. What's your opinion? Because a brother, I'm going to do two things real quick. A brother asked me, what is UD? I mean, UD. UD means under dispensation. A dispensation is something you get from your Grand Lodge saying that you're entitled to work as a lodge. So you're under dispensation, or some may call it a warrant, but that's what a UD is. It's under dispensation. Now, the other question comes from Brother Marcus. He says, do you get into the two pillars at the center of earth? Yes, there are two pillars at the center of earth. And if you know anything about travel, I'm just saying, I believe in energy. I do. I believe that the energy that we have is capable of traveling. And a lot of people don't see it. I think when you dream, I believe that your spirit that resides in you, I believe that it says, look, man, you can get, this body can get some rest, but I'm about to go. And you think that you just dreaming, but no, brother, you are in another dimension. You are hanging out. The things that you're doing because most of us wake up, we tired. We're like, damn, man, I feel tired, but I mean, I just think that you do. I really believe that those things that you experience in your dream is actually happening because you have moved from one transition to the next. You have astral travel. You have actually traveled outside of this thing we know as a body. That's me. And until I find something else different that can dispute that, I'm gonna ride with that one. What's your point on that?
Well, if you go into a true lodge, a lodge that's like traditionally decked out, you're supposed to have a starry canopy. Once you come to that second degree and you enter through that, you kind of astral. You're technically on the astral plane with the checkerboard floor and the pillows with the globe and stuff. You're technically on the astral.
You need to stop, brother. You doing too much. You're doing too much, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go. Don't finish.
So if you're in a traditional lodge with a starry canopy and all that stuff, because if you're in that, then yeah, you're technically the symbology of going to that second is you're technically on the astral plane. Because of the checkerboard, all that stuff, you're symbolically on the astral plane, and that's that's part of the work right there. It's a lot of when people look at if we were in truly Masonic lodge supposed to look, it would look like the astral plane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it's supposed to be. Now you gotta remember, in some ancient lodge meetings, these are you watch for cowards and eavesdroppers, because a lot of lodge meetings were held outside at night under the stars. You know what I'm saying? Back in ancient times and stuff. So, if we gotta look at a lot of times when we study the Bible, we have to look at it as a historical document, and there's a lot of things going on. So, like a good example, just to stretch the following. When Christ is telling Lazarus to rise, he's not raising him from the dead. He's taking him through a initiation process.
You're doing too much when you brought that up. I'm listening. I'm just excited because you touch on some things that a lot of brothers don't want to touch on. You talking about some things that people don't like readily bringing in, and he called his name 3 times, did he not?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Also, full disclosure, I haven't Rosicrucians also. So yeah, just full disclosure on that.
Now, in the Rosicrucians, they have degree work, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm going through the first process right now. The group I'm with is out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania. That was founded by Brother Pascal. If you want to look up, go to YouTube or Google Pascal Bailey Randolph. He was a biracial brother back in the time of the Civil War. He was an advisor to Lincoln. And he was an occultist. He was a master mason. Rosicrucian. He was a high-level scholar.
So what do you think about the degree work within the Rosicrucian? Because I think they go up to like the 99th or 100th. They got tons of degrees in that order also.
Well, right now the first one I'm in is called the School of Soul Science.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm in that right now. So I'm going through that process right now. So the Rosicrucian is for what I'm dealing with them now is different from Freemasonry. Is they got degree work, but the first preliminary part is that you initiate yourself.
I'm going to add to that. In California, they have a Masonic temple up in Sacramento, Rosicrucian, and I went to their temple, brother. It's you. Now I walked in. I was gonna call myself, gonna take pictures. They was like, "Sir, you have to put your phone down, and you gotta leave. You gotta cut it off, or you gotta leave." And it's a beautiful temple in there, and it's free. As far as if you want to participate, if you want to go through that journey, all you gotta do is petition. That's all you have to do, man.
Now there's two Rosicrucian groups.
Okay.
AMRC, which is out there in California. Then the other one founded by Pascal Bailey Randolph during the time of the Civil War.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're in Quakertown. Yeah, there's two different groups.
Okay.
Like the one in San Jose, the one you went to, AMRC, that's started by a different guy. He still got his. He got his dispensation out of France too, like Pascal Bailey Randolph too. That's the second group. The oldest group is in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Quakertown, Pennsylvania. So I've been in contact with them. So I've learned a few things from them and stuff. So on the consistory side, there's a degree, the 3 degrees called the Rose Court. You know what I'm saying? If I'm correct, the three, I'm not considered, but I know the 16th to 18th, you know what I'm saying? Those are called the Rose Court, so that comes from the Rosicrucian side.
But you will find that it is not the same, but it's a degree that is similar on the Scottish Rite side.
Scottish Rite side.
Yeah.
So back then, a lot of Rosicrucians were Masons. A lot of Masons were Rosicrucians.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to we got members I know that these organizations, people will remember both. Now, both were started by Knights Templars. Because Rosicrucian foundations does come from the Knights Templars. So does Freemasonry and stuff. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is stuff that happened back in those days and stuff. Pascal Bailey Randolph, who was a Mason too.
Okay.
Started the Rosicrucian here, and he was an advisor to Lincoln and stuff. Stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's why if you study, once again, just follow me. I'm not, I study a lot of stuff. When the Mason says soul mode is B, you are invoking.
Oh.
Now the Wiccans do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? When the Wiccans have their get together, because
they do
have degree work too.
They do.
And at the end of it, they say soul mode is B.
They do.
I'm
going to add to that. Not only do the Wiccans say soul mode B, their ritualistic initiation process is very similar.
Yes.
I'm not going to say what it's similar to, but it's very similar.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
I've studied some Jewish stuff. They got 3 degrees, and they say that they say soul mode is B.
Yeah. See, I would say this. I would say this. A lot of the things that we would find if we chose to study them, they would all intertwine and make a rope. A rope by itself, the string of a rope by itself, singular, it can't hold anything. But once you begin to turn the rope and make it out to be that which is supposed to connect, it becomes stronger. So a lot of these various fraternities, such as the Odd Fellows, such as there's a group that is called the Templars, not the Knights Templars, but the Templars. There are other organizations out here that all intertwine. But you who are true travelers have to be able to make that connections between the Rosicrucians and Freemasonry, between the mechanics and Freemason, between all of these other organizations. But when you can't do that, when you're not able to make the connections because you're so close in your gate, I don't know, man. I just get a kick out of it when I'm listening to someone like yourself who's able to expound upon some things in detail. Like you're saying, you've been the Buddhist part, like you're saying your travels on a ship and all of that. When you're able to bring that full circle, your experience of masonry is so detailed and so intertwined with so many different things that makes it relative to where you're trying to go. It's unreal. Although you say I ain't active, but I guarantee you this is in your heart. It hadn't left. It's not dead. The light itself is still a beacon there. It still flashes. It's still like, yeah, I should. But you're like, I don't want to deal with that bullshit. I'm just saying, man.
Right, but I mean, because I was talking to a guy in New York a while back on the primitive right. This is like maybe 7 years ago. He said, "Hey man, question." He said, "How did you find this?" I just knew this had to be more than 33 because it's math. It's simple math. But on New York right side, 18. 10 is 18. If you go away from correct mathematics, 18. So mathematics is the nice number, 18. So 33, that side is 9, man. This side is 6. So you still missing 3 somewhere. 9 is a complete number. I remember what like Billy Carson said, the language of the Most High is math. The great architect is math.
Right.
And maybe the Freemasonry is math all through there.
3,
5, 7. When you knock on the door 3 times. The winding stairs, 3, 5, 7. There's the consistory and the shrine is mathematics. The royal arch is mathematics and the royal arch. So everything is numbers and math. So therefore, that's the language of the Most High. That's the language of the great architect. And there's so many other Masonic degrees out there. Like I just doing research, I found out there's a Masonic degree called the August Order of Light, which is a degree that comes out of India. Yeah, it's called the August Order of Light. That's the degree that comes out of India.
Okay.
So you go to India, you get one of those. There was when the British were colonized India. A lot of the Masons started getting into the Vedas because over in the Sikh, the Hindu stuff, they got degrees in their religion. There's degrees over there. So the brothers got with the Hindus and the Masonic brothers, and they started studying with these Hindus, and they went and created a degree structure, based around their culture and their religion.
What do you think about the degree work of the Dawn, the Golden Dawn?
I haven't done too much studying. I haven't had time to get into there to study them too much. But I plan on to. I plan to. Because I heard one of our Masonic brothers in Maryland. His uncle was going through the process of doing the Golden Dawn, but he just had a baby, so he had to stop. And he was saying how esoteric their teachings are.
It is very, 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 very esoteric. And the Golden Dawn, you can only get that degree outside of the United States, but now there's a few who are considered what you call a high priest in the Golden Dawn who's able to perform the ritualistic practice here in the States. I only know of one personally, and I got his phone number. And I know that he went overseas and received his initiation rites because he took pictures and I spoke to him while he was overseas. So I know him personally. And, you know, and watching him go through that process, it was interesting. I mean, just hearing him explain some of it, he couldn't really go into details because, like with any ritualistic process, you may be able to talk about it, but you don't really go into details because everything you read is not necessarily everything that is taking place when you're going through the ritualistic ceremonies, plain and simple. So in listening to him and as he explained the process of becoming a high priest within the Golden Dawn, I was like, okay, that may be something I'm interested in because even with the primitive rites, they are really esoteric in their own phase, but it's something you have to go into. And a lot of us don't want to go into them dark doors because I would tell you this, as much as people talk about it, a lot of Masons don't go into the dark doors of Freemasonry. When I say dark doors, it's a door that you don't know what's behind it. But when you open the door and go into it, you may be like, I ain't fucking with that. I'm serious now.
When you got your first degree, it was a dark door.
It was actually a dark door. Absolutely. You know. But that's the thing. That's what I find. That's what I track. That's what I see. A lot of Masons are afraid of really indulging themselves into the esoteric, really going in and seeing what it's all about, looking at the etymology of different words and what they mean, because everybody knows we say so more be, but what does that actually mean? What are you trying to conjure in the process of saying this? And do you believe what you say? When you don't believe what you say and you're just spitting out words, nothing happens. It's when you put when you put energy behind the words that you're talking about. When people say, I'm going to kill you, you're just talking about when you put something behind that word, oh, it means a whole lot.
Yeah. So then when I talk to the witness, she explained to me, she said, we said the same thing you said. What do you mean? She said, so motivated. I know y'all make us. Yeah. That's why when I started talking to some white Masons, I was talking to one, God, it was a while back. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, we got a Wiccan as a member. That's a member of their lives. I said, what? Yeah, we got a Wiccan.
Right.
He was passing by with his dad, but when I, things worked out where I was talking to one, and I said, okay, now I can see why, because the Wiccans believe in a supreme being too.
They do. They do.
The supreme being. That I remember one of my brothers in Texas. He said, he said that a Hindu showed up to the lodge. You know what I'm saying? And he driving by, he gave the 3 knocks. They let him in. He was a Hindu, and they let him in. He's a Hindu out of India. He's a Mason out of India.
Ooh, and see, this is my thing. I was saying this earlier. When you knock on the door of a Masonic lodge, and if you have no amity, no whatever, and somebody's able to vouch for you or say, yeah, he's truly who he claimed to be, that is when Masonry comes alive. It really comes alive. If you come to California, I know some. I'm gonna say this. There's a couple of brothers that I met online that actually came to California, and because I said, if you're in Los Angeles or San Diego and you call me, I will come to you. These sons of guns actually came to San Diego and called me on the same day. They didn't know each other at all. They had never met. They didn't know each other, but they was in San Diego at a conference, 2 separate conferences. So when they got here, they gave me a call. They really called, hey, brother Tony, this is such and such. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. You said if you ever come to San Diego, I'll give you a call. I was like, oh, well, when I get off work, we'll connect. So I picked both of them up, and we went out and had one of the greatest times, man. We ate, we broke bread, and we had a great time in conversating regarding Freemasonry. And I had never met these two guys a day in my life, only on the phone. And I tell anybody, that to me is the experience or that you should have as a Mason. That's when you really, that's when that door comes open. That's when you walk outside that gate and really put what you claim to the test. The rubber meets the road, however you want to put it. It was, bar none, one of the best fellowships I've had in a long time.
Word. I think that's what it is too. I think what it is too, man. And me.
What's up, Darnell? No, go ahead.
I met brothers who just, what I'm saying, from different travels, man. We talk about it, what I'm saying, and then I just like that. Also, too, there's a side degree on the I've been doing some research. Excuse me. There's a side degree of the shrine called the Order of Quetzalcoatl.
What was that order called?
Called the Order of Quetzalcoatl.
I haven't heard of that. And you said this is on the side of the shrine degree?
Yes. It's on the white side of the Masonic order.
I thought they had the Jesuits.
No. It's the side just to get the Order of Quetzalcoatl, you got to be a Shriner, and it deals with the Masonic history. It deals with the Olmecs, Mayans, and Aztecs.
That's interesting because I've been told, I don't know, in my conversation they said on the side of that it's like an auxiliary degree. They have the I'm saying the Jesuits, but I may be mispronouncing it, but there you go. Say that again.
On the Order of the Jesters.
There you go. The Order of the Jesters. Yeah.
All right, look, if anyone's listening, you can Google it. Order of Quetzalcoatl.
Order of Quetzalcoatl. Right. Google the Order of Quetzalcoatl. Yeah, I'm definitely really not familiar with that particular order, but
it's on the white Masonic side.
Okay.
And I think it's practiced more in the heartland. Towards that way.
Okay.
But to get that degree, Greek word, to get that degree, you gotta be a shrine.
Yeah, somebody just posted that on the chat on the YouTube channel that was called the Jesters, and I couldn't think of it. And I know of a person who was actually invited to become part of the organization. He was like, "Nah, I Brother Tony, I've done a lot, but I couldn't do that one." And I'm gonna call him up. I'm gonna ask him, brother, why you couldn't do that degree? What was about that degree that you had to pull back? Because it's by invitation only. That degree is by invitation only, and you do have to be a Mason.
Yeah, like what I say, I'm pulling it right now. It's in Wikipedia. The Order of Quetzalcoatl, known as the Q, is a Masonic affiliate invitational body. You got to be invited.
Right.
It's
okay.
Involved in philosophical main contribution, and it's funded by the Shriners Hospital. So you got to be a Shriner to get the Order of Quetzalcoatl. It was founded in Mexico City on March 4th of 1945 by Arthur J. Elan. Takes his name from the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl.
Wow. Okay. Well, I want to send a big shout out.
Canada, Mexico, and Panama.
I'm gonna send a big shout out real quick to Brother Darnell on TikTok.
You must be a Shriner.
Oh, you must be a Shriner. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's interesting. What we try to do here, man, and not my brother, I'm gonna say that. What we try to do here is just really open up a dialogue and great conversation regarding Masonry. We're not trying to disclose any of what you would call the hidden mysteries and all of that. We want you to know that when you walk through these doors, there are so many other doors that you can walk into. It will mess you up. You must have a strong foundational belief and faith and well grounded when you walk through some of these doors, because if you don't, those breadcrumbs you left behind, brother, you're gonna be trying to find them so quick. You're gonna be like, oh, I gotta get up out of this motherfucker right here, cause ooh wee. But I like it. I enjoy it. I really do. It really takes my mind away from some of the things that we have to deal with, you know. So in this day's journey. So what I do is for myself, just to share, is that I have an ancestry prayer that I say. I say it at least twice, maybe 3 times a week. That's what I'm trying to get to. And I'm reminded of those who have laid the foundation and where I'm traveling to and what I'm trying to accomplish and be in this life journey. I don't want to just come here and when I leave, I didn't add nothing to it. I want to be able to add something to it. You know, I want to be able to reach out and really affect a person's life. If I send a person something or did something for them to increase or to help or to do something that is life changing or whatever it may do for them, that's what I want to do. In this Masonic journey, this is what I believe, that you who are Masons, you who are Eastern Stars, you who are a part of these other societies, that's the purpose, is for enlightenment on this journey. That's the purpose. And a lot of people be like, oh, you tripping. No, I'm not tripping, because everything you experience is a rites of passage. You're going to become a gang member, they're going to jump you in. And if you want to get out, they're going to jump you out. It's a rites of passage. May not be my choice, but it's a rites of passage. In order to be part of that set, that hood, that's your rites of passage. And they probably got you doing some other crazy stuff. We're the only organization that claims that we want to help good men become better men, or who claims that we want to do something different, whatever that may be. We the only ones we will not go after our youth. And for me, I'm trying to reach the youth, man. Like you said, 18 years old. Oh, you ain't got to worry about no large dudes. I got you. Because I want you to have this experience. I want you to understand this transition that you're about to go through. They can send you off to war at 18. Okay. They may not want you to drink or get drunk, but when you're in the Navy, when you're in the service at 18, brother, you can get anything you want. You want some cigarettes? We got them. You want a drink? We got you. So all of that's out the window. So we who are Masons need to realize that our youth needs us in such a fashion that's going to help open their mind and send them somewhere where they'll be able to grow and to be the adult that we want to see them and to contribute to society in its growth. But it's just sometimes that you seem like we're afraid to do it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Really, at the same time too, we've got to continue to evolve Freemasons. Shows like this have evolved, because I found you online and I'm like, this doesn't go in. I mean, it's what it's what we have to do, because I listen to Billy Carson. He said something that was very profound. He said, what's the between a woman's rite of passage and a man's rite of passage? He said nature takes a woman through her rite of passage. When she gets her first period, nature tells her that she's a woman. That's her rite of passage.
You ain't lying.
Men have to have a rite of passage. He said Freemasonry gives that man, that young boy, that rite of passage.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That rite of passage. I'm like, whoa. Okay.
You have to be part of an organization or a lodge that understands that when they bring in this young man, they're going to covenant this young man. They're going to train him. They're going to give him the necessary tools to be successful in life, and not just bar him down with BS. You want to build this young man up to be the leader that you see inside him, that is their resting. You want to wake up Hiram Biff. You want to raise him up and say, brother, you're now on your journey. Instead of putting your thumb on that young man's neck when he says, you know what, I want to try this. Oh, we did that before. And what that means, you did it before. He may be able to add something to it that you didn't think of. So you have to give that young 18-year-old the opportunity to expound, to expand, to grow. And in the process, you're going to give him the necessary assistance and aid to do that. If he wants to buy a house and you know a real estate agent, help that brother get the house. Show him here's a real estate agent. Use him. You want to build your credit, brother? Let me take you somebody that's going to help you build your credit. Stop putting your foot on these young people's necks because they are coming right behind us. They're coming right behind us. And we need them. If Masonry is going to survive, we're going to need our young people. And the only way they're going to come in, we invite them in. We teach them what we know up here. We give them the enlightenment of understanding this life journey from a perspective of symbolism that's going to catapult them. It's going to move them. Then they'll understand why the clock has 12 on it. 12 disciples, 12 months in a year. Well, actually 13 months in a year, but that's another story. But when you begin to break that down, you're like, okay, all right, now I can see that. You know, why do we say S-O-N versus S-U-N? If you read the Bible and you take out the S-O-N and put the S-U-N in there, and you understand the 12 zodiac signs, it's a whole nother story being told.
Well, 13 actually too. Stop another day.
Repeat that. You said 13 what now?
Those are 13 zodiac signs, but stop another day.
Well, okay, so we tracking. Yeah, we tracking. But see, if we don't disperse the information that we have locked up here, when we leave this place, everything that you knew, everything you thought you knew, everything that you can enhance is gone. It is a wrap. So we who have this knowledge, this understanding, put it on paper, give it to the young man, invite that young man in and enlighten him. Because if you don't do it, the street's gonna come right behind you and pick him up. Boop, boop. I got you, man. Come on. I'm your dude, man. I'm a ride or die. Yeah, okay, all right. If you claim it.
Yeah. I just think that, I mean, you gotta look how powerful. Like first we realize how powerful the Masonic order is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Masonic order, like I went to an HBCU, and I studied. There's a lot of let's take the Greek letter organization. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take the men. Every one of those organizations was founded by a Mason. There was a Mason to Mason. All right. So the Alphas crossed, the Alpha by Alpha. Their first 7 jewels, all over Masons, and they crossed in the Masonic Lodge.
Look, right. let's add all of them to them. Don't just call out the Alphas, call the Kappas, call the Omegas, call the Betas, call the Sigmas.
If you are a Royal Select Master like me, Royal Select Master, purple, white, and purple gold. You know what I'm saying? That is the Omega Psi Phi got that from there.
Oh yeah.
The faculty founder of Omega Psi Phi, who helped them put together, was a Freemason.
Absolutely.
Phi Beta Sigma, all 3 of them were Masons.
Yep.
Iota Phi Theta, 2 of them were Masons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And I can actually say this.
Those 2 of them were Masons. When I was going through a Royal Arts degree, and one of the Royal Arts Masons brothers who was a Mason too, he was Catholic. He said, man, and he was sitting there, we going through the Royal Arts degree. He said, man, I heard this stuff in a Catholic. Hey, I know exactly where they got it from.
Let me tell you this. When I became a past master, and that brother showed me, I was like, we use that. My Greek used that. And what I found is that each Greek fraternity has pulled something out of Freemasonry and added it to their fraternity. Every last one of them. You can't deny it. It's what it is. And for those who are on the TikTok, and that brother says searching for light, he says he's not been a Mason. He's not a Mason. I don't know who he's talking about. But I people come on, man, they come on this TikTok. They be getting all sorts of things. But you are leading them in the wrong path towards. I don't know. How long have you been a Mason? I don't know if that's for me or not. I'm just reading some of the things from the TikTok. I don't know if they're asking me how long I've been a Mason. I've been on here for like 90 minutes. And I've just enjoyed the fellowship of this brother who just called me up and just broke down a whole lot of great information for me. And I'm quite sure that he's enlightened a lot of you on some things that you didn't know. But that's what it's supposed to be about. Now, the ideal is, do I want to go open some of them doors you just told me about?
Now, also too, now, I'm going to tell you where the Eastern Star symbol come from. There was a guy that got it, but look up the Order of the Druze, or the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E. They're over in Jerusalem.
Okay.
R-U-Z-E. All right.
Can you put that in the? Are you able to type that in the chat?
Yeah. I'm not in the chat right now.
No. Spell it out for me again. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. D-R-U-Z-E. Druze. Druze religion and.
You said D-R-U-G what?
D-R-U-Z-E. Druze.
D-R-U-Z. Okay.
E-E. All right. It's a religion over in Palestine, Jerusalem, whatever you want to call it. You can Google it. All right. You know what I'm saying? Their symbol for thinking their symbol is the Eastern Star symbol.
What? Oh, now you got me to do a whole nother show, bruh. I'm thankful that you came on tonight to even share that, because I had no idea that's where France got it from, because France is the one that actually introduced the Order of the Eastern Star.
Yeah, matter of fact, D-R-U-Z, Druze religion. If you pull it up on Wikipedia right now, you're gonna see a Eastern Star symbol.
Ooh.
Yeah, but just type in D-R-U-Z-E, Druze religion. Put it in Google right now, brother, and you will see the Eastern Star symbol.
I had a brother, King Cam just came up. He was able to put it up in there. So to tell the Order of the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E, he just put it up in the chat for those who can watch it and go pull it up. Go pull it up. Pull this information up. And that's the uniqueness of having some honest conversation with brothers of the craft who are not afraid to step outside the gate. Because a lot of you brothers that are on TikTok with these shows, you're so in a damn gate that you are afraid to have real discussion in regards to the craft, because you feel a brother isn't a Mason. Who are you to proclaim who is and who isn't? That's all I'm saying. But back to you, brother. I just want to say thank you. We've been on here for almost 2, man. We're gonna go ahead and close out. Hey, I can stay on here another 1, but I'm gonna have to close it down. But I want to say I thank you for coming on and just really being able to spread some light and share the information that you have. Give your name one more time.
Hey man, I'm Brother Everett. You can find me on IG. There was a Serpent Mound 1, SERPENT MOUND together, and the number 1. I'm on IG. And for the brothers who don't know, I was raised December 26, 1994, St. Louis, Mississippi. That's 413. That's PHA. I'm a Royal Select Queen of Sheba in Virginia. I'm a Royal Arts Queen of Sheba, Royal Arts Zim Temple. Like I said, full disclosure, I'm not currently active. Right now, I am trying to become a Rosicrucian. Like that, I am, I study a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But once again, brother, I want to thank you for inviting me on, for letting me come on, just share some of the knowledge I got. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I do thank you for that. And thank you also too for telling me about who that brother was. I just hit him up on Facebook, so I pray to God that he get back with me.
All right, that's great, man. I'm going to say this before we get ready to log off, both on the TikTok and on the YT, real quick. One brother asked me, he says, let's see, I'm going to go back. He says, classic man, 86574. Big shout out to you. He asked me, have a conversation with Brother Lost One. Brother Lost One will not have a conversation with me. I'm going to let it be known. For those of you who know, I have a conversation with anybody. but that person will not have a conversation with me. He just won't. I mean, when we come across these different groups, he have me kicked out of the group, but I'm okay with it. I'm really okay with it, but he will not have a conversation with me. Take it or leave it. If you ever speak with him, let him know that I'm willing to have a conversation with him, period. And he can host it on his channel. I'll come live on his channel. Yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I want to send a big shout out to everybody who joined me live tonight. It has truly been a blessing. And Brother Jay, you can give me a call after we're done. Do you have a WhatsApp? I have a WhatsApp. Yes, I do. Spirit of Justice, the Sigma Emphasis. I hope I said that right. I know I did not. But anyway, I do have WhatsApp. If you want to hit me up WhatsApp, you're going to probably have to find my name and hit me up through my phone number. All right. And you might have my phone number, Spirit of Justice. You might have that phone number. What's the word? What's up, Brother Marcus? Brother, I have to talk to you off the phone. I'll give you one off the phone. That's going to be the word. That's going to be between me and you. Other than that, you got any last words you want to share?
No, brother, once again, just thank you. I look forward to your next compliment. Just hit me up whenever you get a chance. Hit me up. I definitely come on again. I enjoyed talking to y'all, brothers. You guys have a blessed night, okay?
All right, I appreciate you. These brothers are about to get me to stay on a little longer. He said that the Eastern Star was founded in Mississippi in 1850. Yeah, according to the star that you have, that you see, according to the Eastern Star that you practice, yes, you are right. However, the emblem and symbolism of the Order of the Eastern Star goes farther back in 1850. It actually goes to France. And I got a book on that actually breaks that down. Now, this brother is telling me that it goes a lot further back than that. So that emblem...
It goes to the Druze. If you go pull up the Druze religion, just Google the Druze, D-R-U-Z, Druze religion, you will see that Eastern Star symbol. All the colors and everything.
There you go. You heard it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about what it was in Mississippi. I'm talking about the symbol itself.
And that's the thing. The symbol itself is older than the Eastern Star. That's what we're saying. So you say it was founded in Mississippi. Great. The actual emblem itself goes back farther. Okay. Right. And if you really get involved with it and understand the colors on the point, then you're going to begin to get into the chakras. You're going to begin to understand energy and how energy travels through the body. That's a whole nother subject when you're actually looking at the works of the Eastern Star. And why do you have 5 degrees in the Eastern Star? You have 5 degrees in the Eastern Star. The Master Masons only have 3. And then you got to go through each point of the degree and understand each sign and what it means. So when you get into that thing called the Eastern Star, that's a whole nother ball game. So you can say 1850 all you want to, but the degree work itself and the understanding it is a lot older. It's a lot older.
Yeah, that symbol itself. I get. If he Google the name, the G-R-U-Z right now, he gonna see that Eastern Star symbol.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
See that symbol, and the Druze are a religious sect. You know what I'm saying? A religious sect over in Israel, Palestine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And once you go into their religion and their system, you know what I'm saying? They got a grip and everything.
Brother, I've learned something tonight, and I'm glad that King Cam was able to put that in there, where because King Cam he's a teacher. He's a teacher, and he comes on. He got his own podcast, and I want to say thank him for coming on tonight. And he goes into the etymology of different words and meaning within the craft and how it ties in. So I like to go over and peep what he has to say. It's beautiful. It is really, really beautiful when you're able to talk with individuals who has a different insight versus what I have, and they can add to what I already know. Man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Because nobody holds all the knowledge, and knowledge is free. Nobody holds it all. You can say whatever you want to say. Nobody holds it all. Knowledge is free. And when you get it, you should be able to share it and enlighten someone. But I'll tell you this, and I said we was going to leave 5 minutes ago. I will share this. Everybody is not able to handle it. Once you give it to them and you begin to change their perspective on it, everybody's not able to handle it. Like the brother said just a few minutes ago about the person who's a Wicca becoming part of the Freemasons. Everybody can't handle that. You know, when people get to talking about different things and experiences, everybody can't deal with it. Oh, I'm a Christian and that's it. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. There's no way around it. Baba. Man, it's
change that with the lie. You know what I'm saying? Well, like that Tim Hogan said, we don't call on Christ in the lies. We call him the great architect.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not Christ. It's called the great architect.
Yeah.
Everybody has a great architect.
Everybody has a great architect.
Vedics have a great architect. Jews have a great architect. Muslims, Christians, everybody has a great architect.
Yep. So you have to be able to find that balance. You have to weigh your heart against the feather. Some of you will find that you'll find that in some other degree work. You're going to find that in some other degree work where you're going to have to weigh your heart against the feather, and you're going to wonder, where did they get that from? What? Where did they get it from? It's been out there for ages, but because you're so locked in, you won't understand what they're doing when you travel within the pyramid. I'm just saying, that's me from what I gather, from what I know. When you travel within the pyramids, there are many doors within that thing. And all of those doors are rites of passage. And some of those places will cause you some harm and hurt. You got to be able to navigate it. I'm just saying, that's just me from what I've read, from what I know.
Brother, I'm going to slide off. God bless y'all, man. Enjoy it, brother, man. And then we'll look forward to our next conversation.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I'm going to hang around another 4 minutes. I'm going to make it 2 even. And I appreciate you stepping in and really sharing your energy and sharing everything that you had to bring forth. I really appreciate it. And next time, hey, hit me up. If you got a podcast or something you're doing, man, you want to reach out to me, you can call this number and let me know. Occasionally I pick it up. I ain't gonna lie. Occasionally I pick it up.
All right, no problem, man. Have a blessed night and travel safe.
Okay, you too. Peace and be well. Yeah, so I got about 4 minutes left. And if anybody want to hit me up right now, you can give me a call at this number right here. You can give me a call at 619-286-0642. If you want, I got about three minutes and something. If you want to continue this conversation, even if you want to go live with me on TikTok, I got about 3 minutes left. I'll do that. You know, because like I said, you go on these other channels, man, they be like, I can't talk to that guy. I can't do this. I can't, man, look, I'm willing to have the conversation because I'm trying to get a better understanding of some things. So when the brother came on, he was enlightening me on some of these degrees I haven't heard of. Now I got to go back and look it up. And I appreciate King Cam's coming in and breaking this down. I'm gonna have to give you a call when we hang up, bro. Or you're gonna call me when we hang up. But we need to make it happen. Spirit of Justice. Give me a call at 858-707-5582. Okay, that's a number anybody can reach me at. I'm gonna put this number out again. You can give me a call at 858-707-5582. That's my number. Your live is flagged for personal information. Oh, I didn't know they can flag my live if I gave out a number. Okay, all right, I've been flagged. I didn't know. It's just a number to me. But anyway, until next time, I'm going to log off on the TikTok. So thank you for dropping by. Invite a guest to join. Nobody wanted to come up, so I'll leave that where it's at. I'm out. Peace. So I just ended the live stream on the TikTok. I want to say, if you was over there, thank you for coming in. Learn more about your restrictions. I'm on some type of restriction because I gave my phone number out over there. And so with that being said, look, everyone, have a great day. Enjoy yourself. And if you want to give me a call afterwards, you certainly are welcome to do so. Peace and be well. I'm out. Well, I end this at boom. Well, nope, not there. There you go.